It's time for Focus Forward, sponsored by Invest Grand Bahama. It's Grand Bahama's best talk show, highlighting all of the positive things happening in Freeport.
Look forward to our special guests each week that will tell you about events, activities, and initiatives that are making a remarkable impact on our community.
You'll also hear from local business owners and get a heads up on deals and special promotions. It's time to Focus Forward. Hi everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Grand Bahama's Best Talk Show, Focus Forward, sponsored by the Invest Grand Bahama unit of the Grand Bahama Port Authority. I am Glendia Sweeting, Manager of Quality Assurance and Special Projects at the GBPA, and I am joined by my co-host. I was about to say you're leaning over, aren't you? Because you're waiting to figure out what I'm going to say.
Your title sounds different. Did you get another promotion or something that I'm not aware of? Like you're just
So,
you're supposed to let me know.
I remain in the same space, same place, and doing what I need to do. Nothing has changed.
I don't know. That sounds like you've got a little promotion there. I don't know. I'm hearing group corporate affairs and what else is there? No.
So quality assurance all the way, special projects.
Special projects.
And then there was one special project recently, Miss Alex Thompson, while I'm introducing her now, Director of Public Affairs.
Of the Downtown Freeport Business Association.
Yes, ma'am.
The best association in Freeport. And there was a wonderful event, a special project that happened recently, but it wasn't downtown.
You're upset, huh?
You know, I'm just saying, it wasn't downtown.
Well, you know, everything can't happen downtown. And I think this is the opportunity for me to tell Alex that, because we have a huge city and we have a huge island and we do all sorts of things and we have to spread it around a little bit. So although we would have loved to be downtown, we had to be in the Port Lakaya Marketplace last week, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for Freeport's Got Talent.
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Yes.
I'm still hungover from a little bit of cranberry juice. Still. It was a wonderful time. No, but seriously, it was amazing. It was a great weekend. If you did not come out to Port Lakaya, I don't know why. Like, seriously, it was fun. It was entertaining. It was alive. It was. Do the young people still say lit? Do they still say lit? Are we?
I cannot answer that question.
Or,
I really want to, but I cannot answer that question. Yeah, but it is what it is.
Yes.
Don't say that too loud.
But no, I think this is a great way to start our 14th season, correct?
Yes.
To talking about a wonderful event that we had in the city of Freeport, in the Port Lakaya Marketplace, which I absolutely love. Freeport's Got Talent.
Yes.
Even though I wasn't selected to participate, and I was practicing,
We don't ever want her to participate. But congratulations to all of the winners, particularly Sunland Baptist School. Sunland would have come out on top as the overall winner, taking home $5,000 in their pockets. But we did have second and third place winners that were also awarded monies. And we gave $2,500 to the top winners from every category. And that would have been 3 categories.
Some good
for
money.
Soloists, bands, and of course, choirs. So we had a wonderful time. Thank you, Grand Bahama, Freeport. You guys came out in droves. Port Lakaya Marketplace certainly benefited from having you there. And so we're looking forward to seeing what's going to happen with these particular individuals. We had Julian Believe that was there.
Oh, yes,
he was the lead judge. We had Mr. Clint Watson.
Don't pass over the part that he entertained us.
Yes, he entertained us along with
see you doing the
Will
dance.
Gittins. I was working.
Okay.
With Will Gittins coming out of Trinidad by way of Los Angeles, and of course his brother J.R. Gittins. So we had a wonderful weekend along with them, had a great time. And of course, all of our soloists and artists will have other opportunities coming off of this event that we just had. So
we're going to put them on a tour.
Kudos to the entire team, the committee from Grand Bahama Port Authority, and all of the others that came on board as volunteers. We appreciate you. And you can watch it. Same Facebook page that you might be watching right now, Grand Bahama Port Authority or Invest Grand Bahama. Get that video.
What if we do a poll for the public and we ask them where do they want to see the Freeport's Got Talent, again? Which location?
So we're planning on doing some things, and I think we need to take a poll about what we need to do to have these interviews.
Okay.
All right, so if we could just go ahead, Alex. I know we just want to encourage persons watch us Obviously, we're always on ZNS television. We want to encourage you, please watch the show, share it with others, and let them know what's going on. Listen on Dove and listen on The Rhythm Fridays at 11 a.m.
Find us everywhere.
So at this time, that is everyone.
That's everyone. But we also need to let them know that if you want an opportunity to be on this show, free. If you're a licensee of the Grand Bahama Port Authority in the city of Freeport, all you have to do is send us an email that says, I want to be on Focus Forward to info@gbpa.com, and that'll entitle you an opportunity to come and share your business and what you have to offer to the world. Also, it'll entitle you to be our Business of the Week, and you'll have a commercial that will be prepared for you that you can use anytime, anywhere, free of charge.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Alex. So it is certainly a pleasure to welcome around the round table. This is the month of October, and every year in the month of October, we always have to kick off the month with one of the best organizations within the city of Freeport. And I'm saying that because, it's not just the Downtown Freeport Business Association.
So I'm biased.
But this one is called Keep Grand Bahama Clean. And of course, we could not kick off this show without the chairman of Keep Grand Bahama Clean. I would dare say the founder. 18 years ago, you would have gotten started. She is also the vice president of the Building and Development Services Department at the Grand Bahama Port Authority. Let us welcome Mrs. Nakira Wilshcombe.
Good day. It's a pleasure to be here and to celebrate our 18th anniversary with you.
18.
Thank you.
18.
All right.
18,
Big thing.
Yes,
18
yes.
years.
So not party in
That's
the
being
backyard.
legal. That's being legal.
It's party on the beach.
But cleaning up after ourselves once we party.
Yeah, okay, we're going to talk about that because
Yes.
that's what this is all about.
That's what it's all
Keeping
about.
Bahama clean, green, and pristine.
Yes.
Exactly.
And we have for the very first time around the Focus Forward Roundtable a gentleman who I invited to come out to Freeport's Got Talent over the weekend.
Oh.
He couldn't make it because he was busy working hard for tourism. And so we're so happy to welcome to the table the coordinator for Sustainable Tourism Development, Mr. Jermaine Johnson. Welcome to Focus Forward.
Thank you. Thank you guys for having me.
Oh, it's
Certainly
good,
a
it's
pleasure.
good. Just before we got the show, he was talking about he's already committed to the next Freeport Got Talent.
Oh, great. Somebody told me that they were going to make sure that he sits right up front.
Right up
because
front.
we want to have him and all of his guests present and in place. Definitely looking forward so that we can all enjoy together. All right, so let's move into the conversation. Mrs. Wilshcombe, Keep Grand Bahama Clean. We hear the name all the time. We might not always, as a community, appreciate the level of work that's done simply because sometimes we don't know everything that the organization would normally do to help keep Grand Bahama clean. So tell us about what's happening with the organization 18 years in. What are you guys doing now?
Well, this has been a sustained effort of promoting a clean environment. We've been going into the schools from day one. We've been going into communities. We've been having these cleanups in communities, inviting residents to join us. And, and I'm particularly pleased because we've evolved over that 18 years, even evolving to the point now where we have puppet shows. And we have puppeteers that are actively involved in spreading, I call it, the gospel of keeping Grand Bahama clean. And so it has been a wonderful experience over the past 18 years, and we're continuing. We're not daunted by what we see. Unfortunately, we would have liked to say that, garbage has become now a non-issue. It has not, unfortunately, but we want to continue in that regard, just to continue to really spread this message of how important it is to keep our environment clean. In fact, our motto says it's everyone's business, it's everyone's responsibility. Our lifestyles, our future, and our economy depend on a clean environment.
Yes. And I like how you talked about everyone's responsibility. Because when we talk about the city of Freeport and the work that's done, I know from a GBPA standpoint, there are things that city management is responsible for. So from your knowledge base, knowing what city management should do, what Keep Grand Bahama does, what is it that the community can do to really help make Grand Bahama a better place, much cleaner?
So unfortunately, we spend thousands of dollars a year from the city maintenance department as well as the Grand Bahama Port Authority on picking up litter and cleaning indiscriminate dumping sites. And so our mission for Keep Grand Bahama Clean is to say, okay, to the resident who's considering dumping, who's considering littering, please think twice. Let's now use those resources that would have been naturally or normally spent on picking up litter in beautifying. And that's where we want to, the city to reach to that point. And so we want to educate our residents and our community on a daily basis as to what they need to do, as to what they should not do in keeping our environment clean.
So after 18 years of leading the organization, what would you say is the one thing that you are happy to see that the community is actually taking notice of what the organization is doing?
Well, we've put out signage over the past 18 years, and it's always remarkable when someone comes to us and say, "Stop liking nastiness." And so, it means then that they are paying attention to the signs, and we're hoping that that is resonating in terms of their activities or actions. And we just want persons to really understand the importance. If we want investors to come, if we want to do this for our residents and our children and future generations, it begins with us. And so we must do our part to keep our island clean. And so that means thinking twice before throwing out that bottle, before throwing out that can, and keeping it in our cars until we reach a designated place that we can properly dispose of that debris.
Okay.
Thank you. So, Mr. Johnson, I know that there is a partnership here, obviously, with tourism and Keep Grand Bahama Clean, and I think that's commendable because it's very, very important. But tell us, why is it that it's important for tourism to be able to work with Keep Grand Bahama Clean? What's the reason behind that?
Well, we've already alluded to the fact that cleaning is everyone's business. And this has been a motto for the Ministry of Tourism for a number of years, that tourism is everybody's business. As Bahamians, you do the Bahama Host Course. This is one of the things that's instituted and taught, that tourism is all of our responsibility. A major part of that is tied to our natural products. And so when we're talking about sustainable development within the tourism industry, it spans from the environment and our ecosystems to culture and our heritage as well. And so from the environmental perspective, the vast majority of guests are still coming for sun, sand, and sea, even as we developed other products. And even as we look to have other offerings for them. But they're still coming for the sun. They're still coming for the sand, and they're still coming for our beautiful waters. And so when we have them visiting, our beaches, we do not want them visiting beaches that's
Riddled with garbage.
Litter everywhere, plastics floating up out of the water. We have divers. Diving is a major part of our tourism industry. We don't want, again, the single-use plastics in our waters that's deteriorating the dive product that we have. And that's from whether it's killing turtles or fishes mistaking plastics for food. And so we're losing those species over our reefs, etc. So the partnership here is needed, and in order for us, again, to continue to develop the kind of product that we want within the tourism industry moving forward, it's definitely much needed.
Okay. What would you say are some of the tangible ways that the Ministry of Tourism or your office at the Sustainable Tourism Department, what are some of the tangible ways you guys provide assistance here within the city of Freeport to keep Grand Bahama clean?
Well, within my department, one of the things that we've started, and Ms. Wilscombe has alluded to it as well, that doing the same thing, it starts with education. And so certain months in particular, for example, the month of April is Coastal Awareness Month. And so that entire month, my department, we were in the schools, and that's from the primary schools and the high schools, and we're educating our kids and the teachers on the importance of our coastlines, the importance on keeping those areas clean, not just for our visitors, but also for us. The destruction of mangroves is a major problem, and that is a major source of protection for our islands. It's one of the first lines of defense. And so keeping these areas clean, ensuring that those environments are able to grow and be nurtured correctly and properly, starts with our education with our kids. From there, we then move to, we just recently, was it last week or on Saturday past, had our International Coastal Cleanup, which is a partnership with the Ocean Conservancy, and this happens every year. and has been going on for since the 1980s. And so the Ministry of Tourism is the lead in this project, where we garner all of our partners. So we're talking Keep Grand Bahama Clean Committee, Litter Free Bahamas. We have civic organizations that are coming out to help us in cleaning up our beaches. And so last week on Saturday, we tackled 11 beaches, and this is stretching from Boodle Bay and West End in the west, all the way to Gold Rock in the east, and all the beaches in between. So we had all of our schools come out, again, from West End Primary in the west to LIS, Lucine International School in the east. And we have not just the partners coming along, the civic organizations, as I stated. So the Lions Club, we have the sororities and fraternities that came out, Zeta Phi Beta being one of those. We have the University of the Bahamas. We have WASA, the medical school that's here. For me, we had lots and lots and lots of parents. Okay. And just to give you some numbers, last year there was about 3,100 pounds of garbage collected on our beaches. And we tackled 12 beaches on last year. Okay. This year we had about 3,800. I'm still gathering some of the numbers. I still have a few data cards to come in, but right now we're sitting at about 3,800 pounds. Wow. And so we've collected about 700 pounds more. Now, to keep everything in perspective, we've also had an increase in participation. And to me, that speaks volumes.
Okay.
So
sorry.
So last year we had about 540 participants, and this ranges from adults and the children and their parents. This year we are up to about 680 participants, and I think so that's why we had the increase also in the volume.
No, that's great, and I like to hear about the participation, and when I ask about tangible, I think that's very helpful, the education, et cetera, et cetera. And of course, you know, Ms. Wilshcombe, I know the investment on your end, multiple ways in which you guys continue to work, but we love the fact that there is a partnership here. Yes. So we're really, really happy that you would have joined us to talk about that, because sometimes people don't know that there is the Ministry of Tourism that's connected to what's going on with KGBC and vice versa, because you also have other partners and other persons that are to the table. So Alex, I know you wanted to ask Ms. Wilshcombe some things, and I've been like moving around a little bit. Let me give you your opportunity.
So just one, I wanted to just let you both know that education, the fact that you put priority on education is important, and it's working, because whenever I go to the beach with my son from he was very little, we would walk along the beach and he would pick up garbage and bring it to me, and I'm like, what do you want me to do with it? Well, we can't leave it here. So you're toting around garbage if you don't have bags. So that is working. But I also wanted to ask you then too about, I know there's something that you've been doing for a while. And as we were talking a little before the show, like, you know, you're not you anymore. You're not Nakir anymore. You're the face.
Okay.
You know, how do you feel when you're walking down the street or walking along the beach or you're walking somewhere and people do come up to you and say, hey, you're the lady from Keep Grand Bahama Clean, and then, you know, they tell you about what they're doing and how they contribute and how you affected their kids?
Well, I think that's certainly a beautiful thing. You know, it means then that obviously somehow in some small way I'm making a difference. And so I really want to make that difference where people just see it as something that they have to do national. This is a national initiative. It's not just local.
Right.
And I must recognize, Alex, if you permit me to recognize some of our partners.
Okay, go ahead.
We have been partnering with Sanitation Services, Earth Care, Litter Free Bahamas, apart from Ministry of Tourism, local government, residents at large, and so Bahamas National Trust. And so all of these members, and I'm sure I'm leaving out a few more, but all of these members have played a part. The fraternities, the sororities, they all, you know, play a part in helping us to promote this message of keeping a clean environment. And so this, like I said, has been going strong for the past 18 years. We hope to continue, but we also hope at the end of the day that we, you know, this outgrows this initiative, that we can say, well, we no longer have to have beach cleanups, because everyone is doing their part.
I like that.
Yeah, we really want to be able to say that one day.
And that's what we want to see, and that's what we want to hear. And like you mentioned before, beautification. If we're we're not spending the money
Yes.
on being able to
On
try to
cleaning
keep
up,
things clean,
we can spend money on
we can spend it
beautification
on making it look
and
a whole
improvements.
lot better.
Yes.
So we appreciate that. But I want to talk to you, Ms. Wilshcombe, just before we come over to our next guest, who I will introduce in just a second. Give me a moment. I got to hit these different points, because when we have Ms. Wilshcombe here, we're not going to have her all the time.
Okay.
I want to talk about this from the legal aspect, Ms. Wilshcombe, if I can do that, because I believe that there must be something in place for repeat offenders. And I can think about one street in particular where I know litter pickers go out there very frequently during the course of a week, where it's almost as if it is the garbage bin for some persons that may be tossing things out of their windows. If we can identify someone, and I'm not sure what an investigation may look like, but if we can identify someone who may be a repeat offender, how is that handled from a legal perspective with KGBC or any other entity?
Right. So we've worked with the Department of Environmental Health Services in the past, where we've caught someone as a result of some cameras and residents pointing out particular individuals, and it was a business, unfortunately, who had dumped. And so that individual representing the company was taken before the courts. But we really wish that penalties can be a little stiffer. And we really wish that there would be more whistleblowers, more cameras that we can erect, because persons are doing this on a daily basis. And I'm not just going to say the residents. Unfortunately, we have the business community at large as well, being responsible for some of the littering that we're seeing. We're seeing some of our contractors. We're seeing some of our restaurateurs based on the nature of the debris that's being seen. And so we want to send a clarion call to all persons listening, to really stop and think. If this is your country, if this is your island, if this is your community, and you say that you love this place, do your part to keep our island clean. We want more persons to come into our city to develop and to invest, but it's not a welcoming environment if we continue to abuse our environment. And that's what we really want people to understand.
And the thing is, they know this because they take the garbage from wherever they're at
in their cars and put it outside their car.
Right.
But they wouldn't do that at home.
Right.
They wouldn't pull up in their driveway and just toss it
dump
out.
it outside.
Yeah.
It's so frustrating.
But they know it's the education and getting it to the heart. And I think that's what's happening when it comes to the younger ones, like you had mentioned as well.
Yeah, so we start them from young, then they learn that it's not then. Now, you mentioned something about inspector.
Yes.
And we got the
ma'am.
inspector on the table. I hope you have handcuffs and all these kind of things, because we like to make sure lots of people up who are wrong. We would like to welcome to the round table, if I'm correct for the first time, Ms. Cherish Russell, Environmental Inspector, Building and Development Services of the GBPA. Correct?
Thank you for
That's a
having
long
me.
title too. All right. So tell us about your position and what is it that you do?
So basically, we just carry out different inspections. If someone has done something, you call us, we go out and we see what else we can find out. If someone wants to start a project and it has some kind of environmental impact, we have to request certain data be submitted to us, we review it, and we can give you recommendations on the go-ahead or what should be changed. So that's basically what I do.
You don't lock them up, you just go with the
Of
clinic and lock
course
them
not.
up. Okay,
I mean,
You're
but
also
nice
part
side.
of Keep Grand Bahama Clean.
Yes, I am.
So what's your role there?
I just help Ms. Wilshcombe. Whatever needs to be done, I do it. If we go to the schools, I speak to persons that say, hey, we're going to come this time, or what time do you want us to come, or what information do you want us to convey. And I am also a puppeteer by choice. Yes.
Okay, nice.
So she's officially a KGBCG coordinator and coordinating our events. So she's very important to the team, because setting up those appointments, setting up those school visits, setting up something that she's going to talk about in a little while in terms of our eco schools, she's very instrumental in that as well.
But we definitely want to hear about that. I know I've seen one or two schools I would have passed by. I think they have like an eco school fly.
Yes.
And they have some areas out front all kind of set out where they
Right.
do certain things. So yes, let's talk about it. But I really would like to talk about the calendar for the month. A couple of things I just circled here, and Alex, you could take a look with me. There's going to be a
Let's
TED
see.
Talk.
Yeah, so tomorrow we have a workshop for our different eco schools and schools that have the silver award, where we'll have speakers come on and they'll talk about what they do, how they got to be instrumental in the environmental field. And we want to do this just to inspire kids to do the same. Sometimes we say environmental jobs are just hobbies or things we do in our pastime, but we want them to get to know that this is something that you can do. And we also give them a chance to speak about the things that they have done during the 2023-2024 school year, and also trade tips and talks that other schools can also do.
So what other items do you have on your calendar?
So great. We have things that everybody can take part in. So
I'm very excited about this calendar. I'm so glad you asked me because I brought my calendar. Let me tell you so everyone can be a part.
Yes, I can't wait because I think that, like Ms. Worsham said, and you said, it's everybody's responsibility. So everybody has to play a part. So on the 14th, we have a Keep Grand Bahama beach cleanup where you can pick your own beach. And what this means is any beach that's close to you or any beach that you hold close to your heart, you can go and you can pick up trash and you can put it where it's supposed to be.
My own beach? I thought you were going to tell me I could put a sign on the beach that said it's Alex's beach.
Well, I can't give you the go ahead on that. You know, but maybe we can put in some things and we can see what can be done.
Okay.
I'd just like to add, though, on that 14th, what we've done as KGBC is said every holiday, we know persons love to go to the beach.
Right.
So why not incorporate a cleanup every holiday? And so we've done for this calendar year, every holiday we've recognized as my cleanup day. And so persons in their individual communities can go to the beach. And this is something, an initiative that Cherish would have spearheaded.
All right, Cherish.
So it's
I
ongoing.
love that.
I'm liking
I love
you on
that.
this team. Let's go.
You can join us.
And I hope it encourages persons after they use the beach for the holiday to ensure that it remains clean. You know what I mean?
Adopt a beach, eh?
Right. Yes. Yes.
There's a sign to just stop liking nastiness. Just clean up after yourself.
So, Cherish, what else you have on the calendar? I know we have to wrap up soon, but what are some of the other key things that we want to share so that the community could get involved?
Okay, good. So besides the beach cleanup, we have a scavenger hunt that we have open to certain all non-profit organizations where it's a typical scavenger hunt where we give you clues and you have to go from place to place. However, while you're going from place to place, you have to pick up garbage. So we'll award points for how much bags you turn in and the like. And then we also have a grab-a-thon. So for that one, our aim is to clean up the majority of the island as much as we can. So we'd have certain groups that would be pinpointed to certain locations where we'll let them be responsible for cleaning a mile. And then we have the eco schools responsible for the beaches because we don't want the students out on the streets. So again, we have to ask everybody who wants to take part, all the civic organizations, the nonprofit organizations, the schools, to contact us and we'll work together.
Okay, sounds good. So this
these
is a full
events.
calendar for the month of
like
October 2024. KGBC, Keep Grand Bahama Clean, is very, 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 very busy. Ms. Wilshcombe, just before we wrap up, any final thoughts?
Well, I want to speak again to the residents. I want to speak to the business community. Let's all join in this mission of keeping our island clean. It is certainly everyone's business and everyone's responsibility. In fact, our theme this year is manage your waste. It's your responsibility. So don't look at it as Alex's waste. You know, this is my waste. Let me be responsible. There's this saying, not in my backyard, but in someone else's. No, manage the waste that's in your yard properly. We have a Pine Ridge landfill that is just uniquely designed to receive persons to come to that landfill and dispose of waste. And so we see the efforts being taken by the community sometimes to go in these deserted areas, undeveloped areas, and unfortunately that's not a good practice.
And you can just drive up to the landfill and dump it.
Yes.
Yes. So now, guys, you know exactly where you need to be able to go so that you can dump it, right? You pick it up, you package it, and you dump it. Thank you guys so much for being with us. We're very, very grateful to have Keep Grand Bahama Clean on the show once again. Obviously, just a staple on the Focus Forward show.
They're here, they're
Each
here.
and every year, they are always here, and we truly appreciate them. And you're going to be hearing a whole lot more from them throughout the month, and we'll be able to share what's happening in the calendar each and every week so that you can stay up to date. So guys, listen, we only just finished the first segment. We have another segment that's coming on. It's going to be amazing. This lady is wearing red, and I believe that is the clue for you to think about what happens in October. Why would you want to wear red? And we're going to talk about that a little bit. So we'll be right back right after this.
So one of the key messages that we promote during this season is to be prepared. preparation is key. And so preparation for us means, one, the residents should, know their legal description, know where they're situated, their premises, so that after a storm event, particularly if permits are needed, once they come into the Building and Development Services Department with that knowledge of their address, we can better assist them. We also want to encourage our residents to ensure that they have the proper documentation. It's not too early to ensure that you have property plans as well as your conveyance documents and anything related to your ownership, and that these are secured and retrievable after a storm event, because again, that speeds up the time when we can assist you and respond to your needs.
We are working diligently to secure our city and help residents prepare. We remain here with you and for you as we plan and prepare together.
Reporting an issue in the city of Freeport is as easy as 1, 2, 3 with the Freeport Report app. Potholes, indiscriminate dumping, derelict vehicles. Simply take a photo, submit it anonymously, and our team will investigate. See it, click it, and we'll fix it. Well, not everything. Download the app today for free.
Welcome to Freeport, the reawakened, the reimagined, the rebirth, the Renaissance capital of the Bahamas. Over $1.5 billion in investments. Marinas, cruise ports, downtown revitalization, residential developments. We're putting the city on the map. Want to know more? Just log on. Your future is only a click away.
Hi everyone, we're back here on Grand Bahama's Best Talk Show, Focus Forward, and we had a wonderful top segment talking about Freeport's Got Talent and Keep Grand Bahama Clean. And Alex, are you going to be on the beach cleanups?
Well, let's talk about a couple
That
things. Right
sounds
quick.
like a no.
Let
Are
me-
you
let-
going to be on the beach cleanups?
Let's talk about
Alex?
this first of all, okay? First of all, we had Freeport Got Talent, and I was not selected to be on the stage. But
'Cause
anyway,
you-
it's another story.
You cannot sing.
La la la! I was practicing. So that's it. I just want to remind everyone about that.
Okay.
But I also want to say that if you want to find more information about Keep Grand Bahama Clean, just go ahead and call them at 350-9158, because keeping the island clean is everybody's business. Also, if you see any indiscriminate dumping or anything, or people just being nasty, use the Freeport Report app. Keep your phone charged and take a picture, upload it. You do it anonymously, and we can get these,
I
nasty
don't think
people.
people realize how powerful that Freeport Report app is.
I
you
use it
know.
all the time. I
You
make
can
my
go
number block.
anywhere. You can go anywhere within the city of Freeport, see something. It can be garbage that needs to be disposed of. It could be a pothole in the road.
That's
It
right.
could be a sign that is down. If you take a photograph of that and you submit that directly to the app, that goes directly to the desk of the city manager, who immediately takes that item, puts it on a work list. That work order goes out, and literally, sometimes
So
within
it
hours,
does
but
get
usually within
done.
days, it is done.
It's
and
addressed,
so I
indeed.
think it's a very important
I can
tool
say it
to
works.
use.
My potholes get fixed on
And
the
so
street.
for Keep Grand Bahama Clean, if you want to keep the island clean and you don't just want to actually go out there to do it, use the app. And that way we can get someone to get it done.
Everyone tell them get out there, pick up the garbage.
Well, that too.
Don't-
But
don't be
everybody,
nice.
some persons might want to and can't. So, we have to be very mindful. So use the app and also see what you can do, especially on holidays. Let's keep our beaches clean. I thought that was a really good one too.
My beach. Let me put a sign up on my beach, on my favorite part of the beach.
Okay, Alex.
Cherish did say that.
So yes. So I had mentioned just before the break that we had this lady wearing some red, and I think she was just trying to, match with one or two of our guests and, be
Give me the
mindful
props.
about what's happening in the month of October. And
Visuals
we are
help people
so,
remember.
Are we done?
Oh dear, let's go
Okay.
on.
But your earrings and your dress is very beautiful. They match really well. So the Bahamas Red Cross Grand Bahama Center is here joining us today, and we are so delighted to welcome, not for the first time, mind you, to the Focus Forward table. Every time I see this gentleman, I said earlier, I think money. I think business capital, those kinds of things, because every time he comes to the table, it's all about that. But I think there's, a little soft heart in there.
Really?
And he's certainly the president of the organization. And so very, very delighted to have to our roundtable again, Mr. Addison Sumner. Welcome.
Thank you very much. Money, money, money.
Money, money, money.
Money, money,
So
money.
now every time I see you, that song's going to play in my
Play in
head.
your
now, right?
mind?
It's like,
Okay.
money, money, money.
Yeah, I'll put together a band for you.
Yes, and
Don't
give
make
us some
promises
singing
to me.
lessons as well. Give
I
us some
know.
singing lessons.
Where did that
Pleasure
come
to
from?
hear.
You said,
Yeah.
And we also want to welcome to our roundtable for the very, very first time.
is it really?
I believe so.
After 14 seasons, are you sure?
Perhaps, and more than 200 shows.
And if it is,
Yes,
it's an
for the very,
indictment
very first
on
time.
her.
I actually agree now that you're saying that, so we definitely want to bring her back
Yeah.
in a different capacity next time, because there's so much more I'm sure she would be able to share with us, and we are going to lean on her for some very, very good information. We want to welcome to the round table Miss Lisa Turnquest, the committee chairman for the Renaissance Ball here in Grand Bahama. Ms. Turnquest, how are you?
I'm awesome and delighted to be on your show for the
Good.
very first time.
Lies you tell.
Thank you, thank you.
This is impossible. I'm putting it down right now. Can you write it down? You can mark it on the calendar.
So we're so excited to be talking about the Red Cross. I believe the last time we had the Red Cross on the show, it was Miss Stephanie Barr.
Yes, we were
that
talking about hurricane
came.
preparedness.
Yes, and they
Yes.
came and they shared lots of good information with us. So we continue to kind of lean on that partnership with the Red Cross. But this time around, we're talking about the Renaissance Ball. And so tell us a little bit about what the Red Cross is doing to bring us up to speed. And then, of course, we want to talk about the ball and why Alex is wearing all this red today.
All this lovely red.
Yes.
You're outstanding, by the way, this red.
Thank you.
And
Flattery
you're-
gets you everywhere.
I know. First of all, I'm delighted to be on the show again tonight. So thank you very much for this.
It's the best talk show.
So I've been
in
told,
Gra- in
and
the
it just
Bahamas.
got better, right?
Okay.
But no, but the Red Cross, in seriousness, is an absolute necessary organization in this country. We respond to so many needs on a daily basis, right? People think of the Red Cross and think that we only here to respond when a hurricane happens. But the response of the Red Cross is every day. Even here in the Grand Bahama with the Grand Bahama Center, they are out there every day feeding people in the community. They are also conducting CPR classes, first responder classes, responding to other needs in our community. So the work of the Red Cross is absolutely essential. And also remembering the fact that the Bahamas Red Cross is not a standalone organization. We belong to the International Federation of Red Cross and the International Committee of the Red Cross. And we are also the only organization in this country that acts as an auxiliary to the government. What does that mean? It means that we are partners with the government. We're not a part of the government, but we are partners with the government. So when the government is facing the disasters, other exigencies, the Red Cross is their first call outside of the government and ecosystem.
They are the big boys.
We're the big boys. And the work that we do as an auxiliary to the government is essentially important as well, because when the government resources run out as far as, say, human resource or capacity, the Red Cross is always there to step in to fill the gap, right? So we are always there working with the government. We work with them hand in hand with the hurricanes, with fires in communities, with other persons who were displaced because of various situations. So what we do is we respond. We prepare, we respond, we remediate, we mitigate situations as best as we could. And all of this work is done and can only be done because of the cadre of volunteers that we've got across the country.
Right.
In Grand Bahama, we've got a wonderful cadre of volunteers, people like Lisa, who heads up one of our committees here, and the caliber of volunteers that we've got who support the staff of the Red Cross, right? The Grand Bahama Center, for example, has been doing tremendous work. I'm very proud of the work that they're doing, and that says a lot for someone who's not present in Grand Bahama ordinarily.
Because
But
we're your favorite center, aren't we?
My answer to those kinds of questions, that you'll always be number two. Right?
I'll be number two.
Wherever I go is number two because you always save space for number one.
Save space for one.
Never know who number one is, so it's always number. Except my wife, she's always number one. But it's a kind of thing though where the Freeport, the Grand Bahama Center has been doing tremendous work, and we're now working with some initiatives to even expand further the work of the Grand Bahama Center that will spread out even further than the area of Freeport. We are devising a plan with the government through social services to expand some of the work they're doing into the east and west ends of the island. So the Red Cross, therefore, is an essential organization. And I want to personally say thanks to our staff here, our volunteers who work feverishly to make this organization the success that it is, and also to thank all of our many donors and supporters and sponsors whom, without their donations, we still would have had a difficulty getting things done. So this is really a collective community of Red Crosses in this country, and Grand Bahama certainly is the second most vibrant center. And I say second, I said it tongue-in-cheek before, but I say it now, only because, New Providence is the headquarter, and, so we have a much denser population to deal with, but Freeport certainly has been pulling their weight in getting things done in this country.
That is good to know. So what would be some of the needs of the Red Cross? I remember some time ago before that beautiful new building was erected, and even after some of the most difficult times on the island after Dorian, persons that had anything to be able to give would just go there and they would give clothing and they would do donations.
Right.
What are some of the needs of the Red Cross here in Grand Bahama?
The very first need, which is always priority need, is funding. The Red Cross always needs money.
That's the nice word. Just say you just need money.
We need money. Always need money.
I told you, I think money comes around.
Yeah. It always segues to money with me, right?
Okay,
Some way or another. But the work of the Red Cross is funded. We have in the Red Cross we have the term we call resource mobilization, right? Which means you are mobilizing resources that are not only financial, they're human, they're materialistic, etc. So, but the one thing that drives all of our programs is money. Even when we have volunteers coming in, those programs need to be funded.
Understood.
So our number one need is always funding. And let me put this out there so we can dispel the myth. The Red Cross is not a wealthy organization. It would be counterintuitive, right, or counterproductive for the Red Cross to brag that we've got $20 million sitting in the bank.
Understood.
It doesn't make any sense. Why would you have money sitting in the bank when it can be used to help people in the community? So the money that comes into the Red Cross goes out of the Red Cross. Some of it comes in and goes out the same day.
Okay.
Some of the money goes out before it even comes in.
Okay, so we're just filling the coffers. Just filling the empty coffers so that we can do something with.
Yeah, it's a revolving door because we only hold back on certain reserves in the event that we have got to respond quickly to an emergency.
Understood.
We want to be sure that there's at least something to get you started. But ordinarily in emergencies, people come out of the woodworks and they start making contributions, and we saw that happening tremendously in Freeport after Dorian, right? So the first thing is we need money. The second thing is you always need volunteers.
So we need the people.
People to come in to help with the programs because, the Red Cross, we've got some folks who were in this organization for 40, 50 years.
Yeah. Wow.
There are people who said to me, oh, I was a junior Red Crosser. Now I'm in charge of committees and other auxiliaries of the Red
That's
Cross.
awesome.
So we've got generations of Red Cross folks who are still involved in the Red Cross to this day. But we are always looking to expand our volunteer base. And then there's just the old adage of getting programs organized, getting people involved, bringing in supplies to support our programs on a daily basis. People like to come into the Red Cross to dump their clothes.
Okay.
Dumping clothes and
good.
donating clothes are two different things.
Understood.
We are not a dumping ground.
Understood.
We like to deal with people with dignity,
Understood.
which means that do not bring clothes to the Red Cross that you will not wear,
Understood.
right? And if you do it, the instructions I gave to our teams across the board is don't accept stuff that you can use to wash your car with,
Okay.
right? So we want, if you're going to bring clothing into the Red Cross, bring clothes that you would wear, bring food that you would eat.
Understood.
Don't bring old spoiled cans because your cupboard is now full and you need space to bring new stuff in.
That's just
right?
terrible. You're making that declaration, which means you may have encountered that quite a bit.
We have people,
Very sad.
it's like, you're doing spring cleaning in your house. You brought a whole new wardrobe of clothing and you realize now you need space in your closet. So the stuff that you wouldn't wear, you wouldn't give your children to wear, you're going to bring them to the Red Cross?
Shame on
No,
those.
you shouldn't do it. If anyone is still doing it, I cry shame on them as well.
I do.
Right? So those are the kinds of things we need. Money, always volunteers, other resources to help us build and promote our programs across the country.
So we want to talk a little bit about this Renaissance Ball now, because I could imagine this is perhaps maybe the biggest fundraiser that you guys may have annually. So Ms. Turnquest, tell us about this ball. Tell us what we can expect. I'm sure our persons are definitely looking forward to this, particularly persons in Freeport. You know, we want to get dressed, we want to come out, but we also want persons to truly support this event financially, purchasing tickets and being present. So tell us about it.
So it was about 3 years ago that Ms. Barr called me and asked me if I would chair an event for the Red Cross, and I just wasn't in the frame of mind for it. But this year, when she approached me early from January, she calls every year around January, she said, Lisa, it's 17 years that we have not had the ball. And I said, you can't be serious.
Really?
You know, for Freeport not to have a ball at this level. So I said, I'm in, let's do this. And so we sat down with the committee and tried to come up with a theme that we thought would definitely speak about what the ball intends to do and what the ball, you know, is set to do. And the Renaissance ball came up because in French, Renaissance means rebirth. And so that's exactly what we feel as a committee about Grand Bahama. Like, we're on the verge of a rebirth. Yeah. And then further to naming the ball, we wanted to come up with a theme that would really, really bring people in. And so the theme, resilient, renewed, and recharge, was a collective decision by the committee. And it speaks everything about what we, the people of Grand Bahama, feel about our island. We are resilient. We are resilient, despite all of the challenges that we have faced as a community, the hurricanes, the economic downturn. We still bounce back. We still come back looking like Alex.
Yeah, I know, right?
Looking like you every day, right? And so that was the start. That was the starting theme. And then renewed. It requires a renewing of oneself every time. When things happen, you have to reset and then recharge. So the Renaissance Ball, Resilient, Renewed, Recharge, is what we started organizing this event on. And I could tell you, it's been, now we're in, I think, our 10th week of planning. And you know the ball is on October 19th at the Grand Bahama Resort.
It's coming.
Yeah, and so
I'm excited. I just heard the name Renaissance, and I just thought glitz and glam.
Well,
tell me, can we give a little tea? Give a little tea.
I give you some tea. Okay,
give me some tea.
So of course, you know, the girls, the only thing they're interested in is, what do I wear to this ball? What do I wear? So everywhere that I've been going, everyone's like, Lisa, what you wear to the ball? What you wear to the ball? So think about Renaissance. Think about old Renaissance. Think about the rebirth of art, the rebirth of culture in the 14th and 17th centuries at first. And then think about how Beyonce spun that in 2022. And that is where I'm thinking the ladies will find the appropriate outfit for this event. That's the fashion side.
Can we plan it a little bit? Can we tell me a little bit about the entertainment?
I can tell you. Well, the big deal for us is our president will be there. He has promised to bring his dancing shoes and his dancing partner.
That's number one.
Yes,
number one.
Yes, our prime minister has graciously agreed to be the patron. He agreed, I think the president had a lot to do with that. He agreed, he's coming, and we hope that Mrs. Davis will be here as well. So we know that they're going to be here. But our entertainment lineup is par none. It is going to be electric. It's going to speak to every taste. For starters, we created various tier levels of sponsorship, which has exceeded our expectation. The Grand Bahama community has come out like we never imagined. We have a sponsor for our VIP cocktail hour, which is reserved for our top tier level sponsors by Fluid Factory and Jade Champagne. So that's going to be an exclusive cocktail reception. We're starting at 6 o'clock, people. We're trying to start at 6 o'clock so you could have some time to enjoy everything, because in every segment of our ball, there is live entertainment.
Okay.
every single section has live entertainment.
I need to start getting dressed early in the morning on
yeah,
Saturday.
yeah, I think you better.
I gotta get it together. I gotta get it together. Okay.
So we have live entertainment at the VIP cocktail party. We have live entertainment at the general cocktail party, and then of course at the ball, we have our very own KB, who is going to be absolutely uncontained.
Well, shut the door.
Yeah.
All right. Tickets
Yeah,
just start selling faster now.
It's dancing all night. We have the Grand Bahama District Pop Band. They are gonna just play music all night, all dancing. We have engaged Sawyer Boy to come in from NASA as our host, paired with our own Gigi. We have Ambassador Jamal Roll, who is going to do a live painting for us, which is awesome. It's just an infusion of the arts. So what we hope our patrons to enjoy would be the transition from old to new. And you're gonna see that, like literally in the decor. The decor is gonna change, and you're gonna see it when you get in the room. You're gonna see a new ball, a new type of ball. Minimal speeches. Had a lovely chat with my president.
You are making it exciting.
Today.
I gotta bring extra bag, gotta bring extra shoes.
No, you don't need the shoes. You don't need
I'm
the
gonna
shoes.
be dancing.
Exactly.
I can't wear these
But you
sexy
can't be
heels.
dancing all night with heels.
That's what I'm saying. I gotta bring extra shoes.
We don't care. We don't care about the barefoot. We're down with that. We have MLD Productions, who after the band finishes, those of us that want to hang around, we're going to roll into some old school. So we have really planned an event that we are certain. Everyone goes for a wonderful ball, a great ball. We are going for an unforgettable ball.
Unforgettable.
Unforgettable.
First one we've had in 17 years.
Yes.
Unforgettable. And obviously the Grand Bahama community is responding.
Very, very
good.
well.
We've been
if
longing.
If I would be able to, I have to recognize those that came up at our top level, the Bahamas Ministry of Tourism, the Ministry for Grand Bahama, RBC, Gerald Investments, the Grand Bahama Shipyard, GirlCon Bexa Alliance, Kalina Bahamas, Oak Tree out of NASA couldn't miss this. They had to be involved. And WASM, the Western Atlantic School of Medicine, have all come on board as our top tier sponsors, $5,000. We deliberately chose this year not to name a title sponsor. BTC has come on as well as one of our top tier sponsors.
So everybody's getting ready. They're getting all excited. They know about the entertainment. They're going to have the VIP party, live entertainment there, the general party, live entertainment there. The ballroom is going to look different. MLD at the very end. Minimal speeches, which is what people love because they want to party. Right? So for persons that are watching and they want to be a part of this event, where can they find the tickets?
Bahamas the Grand Bahama Center, Red Cross Center is there.
And that is located
right downtown.
And Jobson Avenue.
Jobson Avenue.
Downtown.
We
Back
made it.
of town. In the back of town.
They're downtown.
Same area, yes.
God. You guys okay?
Asking
for a friend.
On downtown all day.
It's still
All
downtown.
day.
It's back of town, front of
If you
town.
leave
It's
it to her,
town.
the entire city of Freeport will be downtown.
Downtown.
Yeah,
That's fine.
seriously.
That's fine. We call it downtown. But
So
yes,
they can go there.
175. And this year we are even trying to make everything easier. RBC is putting in a credit card terminal. So if you want to go there and you want to purchase your tickets, so we are having a credit card terminal. We are also going to introduce, with something we stole from our parents, we're going to have digital donations available at the ball. RBC is going to be there. So, you know, a lot of y'all come out to these balls, and when we set no raffle tickets, there are no raffle tickets at our ball. So those of you that want to make contributions to the Red Cross for the ongoing work, the enormous, fabulous, I mean, so needed work of the Red Cross, the RBC terminals will be there for you to tap, swipe, pin, and drop a little 50, because you know, in your little small purses, you could only bring your card.
Tap, swipe, and pin. I love that.
So Lisa, you said you were
Very
asked
easy.
consistently, just very quick, because we're about to wrap up, you know, what made you decide to say yes this time?
It's time. It's time. I honestly believe and I feel, being a resident of Grand Bahama, being involved in so many things that I am involved in, there's just something happening in Freeport. There's something happening, and balls were our thing. We always did them the whole month of October. We had 3 or 4 in a month, and it didn't matter, and we are going to bring that flavor back to Freeport. It's what we're about. And so it was just time. Just time. Yeah.
Did you hear that, Mr. Sumner?
I heard it, and I must tell you that I'm immensely proud of what she's done with this committee. We are immensely proud. I'm going to be here. My first VP is going to be here. The Prime Minister's going to be here. We're inviting other friends from New Providence to come to Freeport for the weekend, not just for the ball, spend the weekend
may
in
stay.
Grand Bahama.
Yeah.
Sounds
They
good.
may, you know, I'm getting property up here, so you know, never know. We're planning routes, right? But I want to also encourage the community, the corporate community in Grand Bahama, the residents of Grand Bahama, the individuals in Grand Bahama, come out and support this. This is going to be a fantastic night. I've already been given my instructions, so I can't give a speech on the night, so I had to write my speech in the book, which is fine by me.
It's fine.
We appreciate that.
So we're,
because
you
we
know,
want to party.
yeah. Nobody wants to come and hear a bunch of dried up speeches, right?
Right.
So that's
Not
not what
when
this
you
is
do.
about.
Not when you're dressed
Not
up.
when you're dressed
Right.
up. So, but it's going to be a fantastic night.
Great. Well,
Yeah.
thank you guys so much. We're so delighted to have had you today. We're very, very excited about the Renaissance Ball. We're moving into this whole different era. We want to see what's going to happen out there. Alex, I think you'll need a new red dress for that night.
Yes, this is just the promo dress.
This is the promo dress.
Yes,
Okay,
the event
good.
requires 2 dresses for these.
Wonderful. So definitely we're looking forward to that. Mrs. Sona, thank you for being here with us.
Absolutely.
And of course, perhaps another time when they have this huge grand event, they get Focus Forward to be live. On location to be able to share some of the sentiments and some of the things that's going to happen during that night. We want to be able to get that out to the
We
public.
are still in the planning stages,
know.
and if you push, you can have that.
Okay.
You better stop pushing.
Just drop it up there.
You got the chairperson
drop
and the
it a little
president. Yeah,
nugget.
push.
Sounds like a date.
Make it happen. It's a good idea.
But thank you guys so much. We appreciate you coming, and we will certainly be there supporting and having a wonderful time along with you. Thank you guys as well. We are just having a wonderful day here at Focus Forward, and we have to wrap up, and we never like to wrap up so quickly, but
don't.
you know, the time has passed, so we just want to remind you, go to make sure that you get your tickets for the Renaissance Ball. Tickets are $175. It's on October 19th, Grand Lucayan Hotel. Doors open at 6 p.m.
Tell them where
And
to
of
get the
course,
tickets.
pardon?
Tell them where to get the tickets.
No, you go ahead. Go ahead.
It's at the Red Cross Center downtown.
Jobson Avenue.
KB is going to be live performing for you guys, and of course lots of live entertainment happening throughout the evening. You're going to have a wonderful time. Support the Red Cross. They need it. They need the money. They need the good resources. They need the good clothes, and they do need the human resources that was mentioned as well. So make sure that you support them. Do everything that you can. We need them, and of course, you know, after we have these unfortunate events, they're the ones that we call on and we look to first. So let's take care of them year-round because they're going to need it, or we may need it a little bit later. Hopefully not, but we'll see how that goes. Make sure you like our Facebook page, Grand Bahama Port Authority, Invest Grand Bahama. Make sure that you're watching each and every week, and make sure that you share the link. Tell people the Bahamas Red Cross was on today. We talked about KGBC. Obviously, persons might want to be a part of that and all of the things that's happening with that as well. So just make sure you continue to follow our pages. Watch us on ZNS, ILTV, Cable 12.
Everywhere.
Listen on Dove, listen on The Rhythm. Make sure you get the right messages out there. Alex, good show today.
Always. Fantastic show. Great
Well,
start to the season.
Absolutely, and a very long season it is because we're going to go right down into the month of December, and we're probably going to end the season with Freeport Flash Friday live on location at a business. We're not going to call the business's name because we got to figure out where we're going.
Good thing you
But
shut
we
me up.
know we're going somewhere within the city of Freeport, and we're going to be live. So you'll join us like the same way they do each and every year. Looking forward to that.
I'm looking forward to everything. I'm partying every weekend. Every weekend, y'all.
She has a busy life. I hope
Yes.
you partying downtown.
Listen,
Didn't you just tell me the top of the show is the whole of Freeport?
It doesn't sound so. You would have just said yes if you were. But it's okay. It's okay. Thank you for inviting us into your offices, your businesses, and your homes. We're here on Grand Bahama's Best Talk Show, Focus Forward. And until next time, I'm Glendia Sweetman,
And I'm Alex Thompson.
informing you on the positive things that happen when you focus forward.
Listening to Focus Forward, sponsored by Invest Grand Bahama. Like us on Facebook at Invest Grand Bahama Small Business Bureau to stay updated. And drop a business card at the Grand Bahama Port Authority receptionist desk to have your business featured on our show. Tune in next Thursday, same time, same place, for Focus Forward.